stats, but to be in positions to get good stats. But he's also still having massive round swing, which is a massive sort of stat that I'm really impressed with, and really like the look. You know, I love how it highlights the impact a player has and sort of the impact they lose by dying and making mistakes. So he's definitely the player to watch out, especially on Dust 2. I remember watching a couple of games of Ruby's before on Dust 2, where he's cutting off those rotations perfectly. But it leaves much to behold for whether the pack can hold on and coordinate themselves whilst he's off somewhere else on the map. But without further ado, we're going to be kicking off this pistol round here on Dust 2. Ruby's map pick of Dust 2. They'll start on the T side. It's going to be a slow crawl in towards lower tunnels here, where Flay, the man of the hour, looks to take the first shot.
And Hasanator is going to be the one to land the dink onto him immediately. It's a 1-for-1 though, as Clock-U with these dualies getting engaged in upper tunnels. He's found a couple of kills and the bomb, and he's just continuing to absolutely annihilate the T side here. And just like that, first round on the board for Venom.
I mean, that's another caveat which we haven't mentioned about or really touched on with the fact that these two teams played only 2 weeks ago on this exact map, is that you've got experience playing exactly, knowing exactly how your opponent is going to play here on Dust 2. So by the looks of things, that looked like a direct counter from Venom, identifying exactly how Ruby going to play, having Flay just stood on catwalk, waiting to take contact. As soon as he does, he can confirm it's a similar, if not the exact same strat. And then you have the players coming in the flank. Clock-U mows them down with the dualies. Beautiful little crunch there from Venom. Puts them in great standing here. 5 M4s equipped. Well, there's a solitary rifle for Ruby. A Hero Galil on Hasanator.
And there it's been put to work immediately. A couple of kills through on that Galil. Gives a player advantage to the T side, but at a cost. And Hafar looking to cash in as he swings in. Takes the headshot, drops the rifle. Fozil is able to pick it up, but no Kevlar to back it. So it's going to have to be clean. Kaida low on HP as well. Opting to stick together. By the looks of things, go for a B finish here. So Venom are just looking to sort of control middle at this point. They're using these long sight lines. Certainly Sobel is able to spot top mid, able to spot through the doors onto B, and have a little peek at the cross over on A. They're now going to split responsibility. Hafar covering the A site as Fozil and Kaida begin to work their way into tunnels. Sobel still split though. Timing could be everything on this push through the tunnels. He looks away at the wrong moment, and there it is. They start to creep out. The question is, how quickly does Sobel get back across? Quickly enough.
That's perfect as well. The entire attention for Venom there in that 2v2 is to let the low HP player with a pistol intentionally die. He's going first to make sure that the rifle is there to trade him. But the thing is, because of Sobel peeking intermittently, it means he misses the timing to catch the first player. He actually catches the second, which is the real threat, is that second player. Deals with him swiftly, and that only leaves the player with a pistol to finish off. If anything actually works out in his favour. We're going to see Ruby now with a full investment. I say full. Jio, who's actually their coach, standing in here. Down to a P250.
Yeah, formerly a player.
Yeah.
I first saw him in Sync on the old fully Estonian team.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that he was actually competing, so it shouldn't be that heavy of a disadvantage as it would for other teams having their coach play.
Hopefully he's kept his individual form up. Hasanator certainly has. 4 and 2 so far. He's one of the only players who kills on Ruby.
Again, he was sort of set up in that previous round with the Galil.
Yeah.
But already a man advantage, completely isolating Sobel on this B-bomb site. There's no way for his teammates to come and support. They're just hoping that they choose to ignore the B-bomb site and fall into this. Well, this is one heck of a stack. Okay. P250 wide swing instantly domes the first player. Flay's good for the double, but runs out of ammo on the M4A1S. It leaves Hafar, who's baited in, tucked here towards Goose, ready to be that third player on the swing, but has a lot on his plate to deal with. Good adjustment to find Fozul. He's in a 1v1. Kaida, the IGL versus Sobel, that late rotate from B. Time is of the essence here. 15 seconds, and Kaida still needs to recover that bomb and get it to the site.
Sobel's opted to reset the fight, though. He's opted to fall back into spawn. Kaida swings wide and lands the headshot.
As that round swing coming in. Tallying it up there for Kaida with the clutch. And that actually delays the AWP being brought out for Flay. We mentioned how sort of impactful, how heavy a hitter he is for Venom. And as an AWPer, there's no better map than Dust 2 for the AWP to really stretch its legs. Maybe you could argue Overpass has those opportunities as well, but that round win there puts a cork in the bottle. That would have been the champagne celebrations of Venom getting that sniper rifle in hand. Nice and early.
Early default spread, bit of doors control, flash through Hafar. Good bit of movement and a beautiful headshot onto Kaida as well. Hassanator trying to pick up the slack, but there's another flash. And just like that, 2 kills for the CT rifler, the only rifle in play until Clock goes scavenging. Picks himself up an AK.
Play with the scout. Might not be an AWP, but it's still a sniper. Clock you on this flank. Finishes off Fozul after the trade, leaves it all on McQueen. Shifting up on towards this A site. Found the timing to jiggle up. Drops a molly. Needs to try and isolate Hafar. Hafar trying to play the time. The players just swing through the molly and there's nothing McQueen can do. Venom keeping a steady grip here on round number 4. And that was with the force buy, bear that in mind. That was, what, one rifle, 1 scout?
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 pistols, but yeah, big round to win for Venom, keeping them in contention here, keeping them in control, but also putting the shoe on the other foot. Resetting the bank of Ruby this time. We're going for the force buy.
Those flash setups in mid were so nice. I loved it.
Really letting her far shine with that M4. Oh, wow. Beautiful peak, beautiful dome, but also a beautiful HE. Look at the health. These players softened up. Light work for Flay. He's just going to be peeking towards mid now. With that M4, 2 clean headshots. Gives Venom the advantage.
Three players grouped up together on long here, going to start advancing towards the bomb site. There's a bit of a tower of power set up here with Hafar up above. He's got a teammate below him as well. They're going to diverge as the smokes block the vision. Hafar posting himself up in Gandalf, hiding. Getting ready to deliver a killing blow as that bomb gets tapped, which McQueen will do so. Flash comes over. Not ideal. Blinds Hafar up and now he's a known quantity. Still manages one before going down, but a beautiful trade out of Kaida. The CT's advanced. Gio with a headshot into the 2-on-2. Jump peek from Flay. The double swing comes in. Gio a 1. Kaida left to clutch it out. And of course, another 3K, another clutch from him. And Ruby get a second round.
It looked so promising for Venom. They had all the information. They had the setup. The smokes broke the setup, but then they had the reaction to that. Hafar playing passive in towards Gandalf, the utility to set him up. Yes, blinded, but still found one before falling. And then suddenly, yeah, Kaida and Jayo come in with some clean shots on the top of the site as Venom give away perhaps a few too many fights. The trading, the spacing was suboptimal. That's what gave the opportunity for those shots to be hit. That's another force buy for Venom. 4 M4s, so the weaponry isn't all too diminished beyond that 5-7 on Clocky, but it's the utility that's really lacking. And look how fast this is from Ruby, sprinting up towards that A site. There might be a save already for Venom with a man disadvantage.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
No kit in play either, I don't think.
And what, smoking a HE for the full retake?
Yeah.
Not a chance. Save the guns.
There's at least a rifle which Clocku can perhaps come in and salvage. And deploying that smoke just to make sure he can get that upgrade. A worthy investment, that smoke, I'd say. Drop $300 so you could save yourself 3,000 in the next. Well, 2,900 to be precise.
Terrorists win.
McQuain finally on the board as well.
I mean, we've mentioned how impactful Flay is as an AWPer. Looking at the other side of things, McQuain, who I believe is the AWPer for Ruby, he's somewhat of a streaky player. He seems to play quite confidence-based, despite being a more passive AWPer. And sometimes he can just have zero impact in a game. Not that he's playing bad, he just doesn't get involved in any of the fights, just plays very passively. In others, his passiveness is rewarded and he'll be looking almost top of the scoreboard. But if he isn't given those opportunities, he doesn't, you know, kind of try and find them anywhere. He just sits back, waits for the opportunities to come to him. Kind of a strange AWPing style.
Played a qualifier earlier today with Jayo standing in. And he carried them on.
There you go.
Put a quick pause, and that's Kaida's found the entry.
Big kill on Flay.
Yeah, it looks like Ruby going to try and collapse onto this B bomb site. Sobol making a lot of noise. Foes are going to try and activate it. Oh my goodness, I thought they saw him around the smoke. There we go. Perfect timing from Fozil to get involved, and now Innocent overwhelmed at the back of the bomb site. And this should almost certainly be another save for the CTs. Clockute should be getting that Galil out of there. Hafar can maybe look for an exit. But yeah, Jayo standing in has he dropped a 1.49 rate. This is across full 24 round 13-11 game. 1.49 rating, 100 ADR, plus 4.6 round swing. He's had a game.
Yeah, so it's
rolling back the years.
Not really that much of a disadvantage at all. You know, he's clearly showed that individually he can hang. And being the coach, you know that tactically he's going to be not exactly lackluster. And big hunt there from Ruby, removing all the weapons from Venom. What I loved in that round, by the way, was what Fozil did after getting the kill when lurking through the smoke. He then tucked and hid. And I mean, the Innocent at the back of that site, he just sat there like, please peek me so I can kill you, and then I can focus my attention on the players coming in. Whereas Fozil just sat and hid. And then the Innocent got nothing. And if you're a player in that sort of situation where Innocent was, and you've got players coming into your screen, your teammate who's defending the site dies, and then suddenly you're overwhelmed and you get nothing, that can be very demoralizing. So denies Innocent that extra bit of satisfaction. He's still only a 1 kill. So he can also play further mental games on his confidence.
Clockute escaping just as the smoke faded. McQuain would have almost certainly got that kill otherwise. Ruby now going to start to split up short. Flashes over, Flay dodges. Just trying to live for as long as possible here. Firing a flash off. Innocent going to find one. So low on HP, but still fighting.
Wow.
He finds 3. Oh my goodness. 2 versus 5 now required. Make that a 1 versus 5 for McQuain. There's the first. Swaps out to the dualies, and Flay will run him down. I don't know how Venom managed to stay alive for that long, but they did.
Well, any of the mental games that I was hypothesizing Fozul could have enacted upon Innocent in that previous round, immediately out the window, because that round right there is one which can completely inspire confidence. Just dropping that smoke there on the ramp, the ability to play around that with the M4A1S, the poor trading from Venom, likely not knowing exactly where Innocent was playing due to the silenced rifle around that smoke. It's a difficult angle to trade on. And Innocent gets 3. Some beautiful shooting, especially the anticipation for the location of the third. Big triple as well. Keeps this game neck and neck. Speaking of neck and neck, Flay almost removes a head from the neck of Fozul. Oof. Oof. That's just the B-bomb site torn in 2.
Oh dear. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, shout out production. That angle couldn't have been any better. That was fantastic. I loved that.
Beautiful.
I think they're going to have to save Tim.
I think you might be right. The B-bomb site hard enough to retake as it is, let alone with a 2-man disadvantage. And a valuable warp in your hands. I mean, you mentioned Jayo having top of the scoreboard in a game earlier today on Dust 2. He's still just rocking with a V250, man.
Yeah, and he's 2 and 7. It's not.
Oh, yeah, but it's never too late to change that. This is one of those things that mentality which a lot of players, just across the board, regardless of what level they're at, need to really understand, and it will help their mental game massively, is that just because, even when we mention it, even when we mention, for example, Innocent, that's a perfect example, right? I mentioned Innocent I think it was 1 and 4 at one point. Nothing says that he's not going to get 2 aces in a row and suddenly be 11 and 4 and be top of the scoreboard. Nothing says that. The odds are not 0. There's at least a percentage chance, if not a greater than a 1% chance, that he could do that. So never think, even if you're having a bad couple rounds, doesn't mean you're having a bad game. Not yet.
Good flash onto short. Completely nullifies Flay's AWP, and he goes for a bit more, and that will cost him. Kaida rips his head off. Such a dangerous re-peak. Kaida proves why. 12 and 4 so far. 3 KD. Having a good game.
Again, as is normally the case for the IGL of Ruby. If you find another quick couple picks, they deny an aggressive attempt there from Venom to crunch mid control as Short is decimated.
Can't keep getting away with this.
Fozul, a constant nuisance here over on this B-bomb site, finding the timing.
That's twice in the past, like 4 rounds he's done that.
Yeah. Leaving Innocent.
Bomb has been planted.
Well, good luck with this one, pal.
Just an innocent bystander, really, left on this A site.
He's just an innocent man. Oh, he's so dead. He's so... Never mind.
I was going to say Kaida wasn't looking in that direction. But how long can he hold on to this? Not for long. Fozul. Quick execution. Ruby now take the lead. They also take control of the economy. At least for now, as Venom half investing, but we've seen them win with a very similar buy to this before. Hafar on the M4 and a Scout also in play. Interesting that the Scout is on Sobel and not Flay. Oh, boost, anticipating holding for that far peak. The lone M4 entry attempt, but quick escape for Hafar. Love the util. Being used very swiftly here by Ruby. The flash to allow Hasanator to peek off of Xbox onto short very quickly. Molly's the top of short, so we can take it. This angle from Fozil. Boom. Catches Boku. Sobel with the scout. It's going to be a difficult angle to peek. Spotted. And Fozil clean again.
Some really precise shooting out of Fozil so far this game. Far. Going to get annihilated, and Jayo's caught sleeping outside long doors by Innocent. Yeah, but I mean, again, Innocent left to save an AK. Ruby is starting to heat up.
I feel like we've been saying Fozil's name a lot in these last few rounds, but he's only 8 and 7.
It's been the one kill. It's been that entry kill on B that he's been really good at. This was like the first big multi-frag, but like those 2 rounds that he's walked out the smoke and gotten the opening on B were like instrumental in him, or in Ruby actually winning the round, right? But it's like it's one kill.
Be interesting to see what the swing percentage is.
Yeah, for sure.
Fozil. Oh, big opening. The double AWP setup here for Ruby. Kaida using that spawn, and they're going to try and burst out after getting that pick. Innocent. Now an early rotation as Venom sacked a little bit closer towards that B-bomb site. Innocent has cleaned up the players leaking out of the tunnels. Actually given Venom a man advantage to work with here on the final round of the half.
I need Fozil to throw that lurk smoke again and just walk through it and get a third kill. Give me so much life. I don't think it'd work on this round, to be clear, but a man can dream. That said, Ruby are going to reset a little bit here. Let the map go quiet. McQuain's now going to walk in, contact play with an AWP. This is a great angle to counter a play like this. Close up, hidden behind the car. A little bit of cover in front of you as well. And the T's have to be fully committed. You can get some early info just like that. Innocent cleans house. 4 kills for him. So it is going to be Venom trailing by 2. And Ruby in the lead 7-5 as we go into the break.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back, just to live his life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live his life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live his life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I can light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live his life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been
The second half continues here on Dust 2. Ruby and Venom, with Ruby taking the lead currently 2 rounds up on their map pick here at the Europe Cup number 4. It's going to be Ruby now on the CT side, the defensive side of their pick. Venom here with the Glocks, just outside of Long, setting themselves up. Ruby split up in a 2-1-2 setup, currently blind to Long.
Yeah, good amount of utility here on the T side. Some of that going to be used to flash, flay, clock Q, Hafar, and Sobel all out. Got Innocent lurking in middle. Going to be making use of that mid smoke as Gio spots them on Long now. And a firing squad can establish itself. Gio claims first blood. There's a second. Clock Q is able to respond, but Gio's still fighting, still taking them down. That's 4. And he's looking for the 5th. Innocent will deny him, but still a 1v3 now for the pole. He's going to reposition here. Bomb dropped firmly in Ruby's control. And this reposition has been anticipated. Kaida posted up. Gonna spot Innocent at top mid. Yeah.
Very quick reaction. Reposition for Ruby. Flank coming in as well from Kaida through lower tunnels. Innocent reconfirms his location. Mollying on towards short. 25 seconds to go with this Glock at range and no Kevlar as well as health whittling away piece by piece. And this flank from Kaida eventually will finish him off. But a lovely reaction there from Ruby and some beautiful shooting from Gio. His pistol work looking like it's barely decayed at all since his time competing as a player. But it's a quick reaction there from Ruby. So as I mentioned, they were blind to Long, but they didn't need to have vision of it. They had audio. They could hear. As soon as the util was thrown, they all immediately rotated, had a setup ready to fight and swing the site, even with a flash to set up Gio for the first few kills. Do a bit of a tactical timeout now for Venom. How do they approach this one? No bomb plant means they're going to be lacking on cash. If they don't go for an investment, they're going to allow Ruby to really stretch their scoreline, creep closer to sealing the deal on this map.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Galil hero buy that Ruby did on their T side, but it looks like it will be a full eco. So, bleed out some of the utility, force Ruby to rebuy that, and then just see what you can get as a flash mob of Glocks.
Just looking to see if you can overwhelm any over-eager CTs looking to hunt ecos. Thinking, oh, 3 easy kills. Which McQueen again, you'd think maybe with the MP9 he might be wanting to farm some cash, but again, he just often shies away from any engagement, any action. Big wide swing here. Kaida, the HE could be juicy. Oh, but they all disperse, making sure they don't get caught inside the trap. But the rest of the weapons will quickly finish him off. And at the end of that, Ruby only lose one weapon. That's the MP9 that gets dropped by McQueen as he picks up the fallen M4. That HE looks so promising because he will just run away. But does
Really
a good
nice
job of
detail.
slowing that down.
Yeah, absolutely. Really nice detail from the end of the round there. I see so many times teams, like even at high levels, get flustered by like, oh, we've got an MP9, we need to juggle the M4. That was like 3 weapon drops and it was there, sorted. Quick long take. And a 1-for-1 early, but Hafar makes it a double. McQueen comes in to equalize a messy spray on the second. Jyo makes it 2, but Sobol's taken Fozil down on the B site in the meantime.
Fallen victim to his own medicine.
See what the Estonian coach can do. Already 1 kill so far in this round. Needs 2 more. Bomb's still yet to be planted, and he's made pretty good time on this flank into tunnels. Innocent is aware of the possibility, but the timing does not work out in his favour. Needs to sniff out Sobol now. Sobol gonna spot the head, but Jyo connects. And it makes it double digits for Ruby. The coach pulls through right when they need him.
Wow, what a strange round. I mean, you've got a 4-man hold towards long, which is a heavy gamble for the CTs, but it's not completely, it's not unheard of. It's often a decent attempt at the early round. If your T's likely have a strong spawn, then you go, well, if we've got a good spawn as well, why don't we just hard take long, battle for it tooth and nail, and then just fall back to any other piece of map control should they not take it. Seems to be a rinse repeat here for Venom, this time with the Tech 9 closing the distance. Hafar again, another double, but this time it's unanswered.
Hasanator's getting ready for a bit more aggro. McQueen preps the flash, it comes in, and it's beautiful. He sprays down 2, looks for the 3rd, but he's out of bullets. And so equal numbers here, McQueen.
Slow HP
Holding from
players.
car. He's going to miss both. Now trapped in a corner. And teammate a long way away. Needs to take care of himself here.
Oh.
And he's doing so admirably. A nice snap headshot with the Julies. Flay is able to take him down. He's aware of Fozil as well. This fight, the timing could be everything. And Fozil waits for the nade to be thrown and swings out to deliver the killing blow. Making it 11 now for Ruby.
What a brilliant mid-round play there from Hasanator and McQueen. Did look sketchy with McQueen just spamming those Julies, trusting his teammates on the information that they were likely low. Having to hit one heck of a flick to finish off Innocent. But seriously puts Ruby head and shoulders above Venom. Just 2 rounds to go, at least here on map 1.
Not a good sign for Venom as well, considering this was the one that they lost. They lost this all the rounds last time. It was a full 24, and this time Ruby looked way more competent. That said, that's a big entry. Kaido eliminated. McQueen next up to the plate, takes down Clockcute, and the reprisal from Flay will come, but McQueen there again, leaving Innocent again alone, and Fozil in his favourite corner will eliminate, giving map point to Ruby early on.
McQueen being a little bit more inquisitive now. He's on the CT side. He's much more comfortable going for those picks as the defender. He gets the first and immediate reposition up towards short. Finds another. Even trading Jyo. That puts Venom in a world of hurt here. As again, need to remind you, they lost to Ruby last time on Dust 2, 13-11, but that was a full equipped Ruby without a coach.
Ooh, Hafar and Innocent both get caught out on long. This is a nightmare start. What could be the last round of this map.
Yeah, Venom have had a little bit of success, at least in the early rounds, of taking long, even when Ruby were stacked there. But Ruby with an immediate adaptation, chucking in extra Molotov just to clear out that blue bin, making sure that the T's can't comfortably path along what would be, for their POV, the left-hand wall. But also, Venom with less util to really take long, so I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't quite so many flashes for the T's to give them some cover. Fozul repositions onto the other side, spots the bow, can call that across. Pushing into Clock, clear it. Looked like he was about to, but Fozul had the drop. Sobel and Flay are going to find a couple, but Hasanator at least gets one trade, leaving it all on Flay. 6 points of health versus 3 players, and it's overkill. Hasanator, one tap straight on towards him. That's going to be a 13-5 victory for Ruby on Dust 2, despite playing with Jyo, who, again, we say despite in that it's not their full roster, but Jyo more than made up for it. A lot of impact coming in with multi-kills and even a good solid clutch. Ruby looking very solid right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going on to Ancient next, which will be the pick of Venom, but with Ruby and
finding clutches, he was seamless in his individual capabilities, fitted in perfectly with the lineup, and he's obviously got that strategy. He's familiar with the strategies. The difference is they won't have the same level as chemistry that they would have if Trunique was playing here.
Yeah, I mean, to sort of highlight it a bit, right? Joe was on the top end of the scoreboard. His round swing was pretty unbelievable during that previous map, +6. He's actually had the highest round swing on the server. It was a very top-heavy scoreboard with Kaida, Hasanator, and Jyo all having big impact. But now we move on to Ancient, so we'll see what Ruby have for us here, if they can take this in at 2-0, as they are going to be starting on the CT side. Smoke on Fozul. Got a defuse kit on McQuain as well, so Fozul just looking to block the B-bomb site as a heavy stack on the A side of things, which Venom look to be heading into Cave for a B hit.
Lone defender of Fozul right now. He's got Kevlar and a smoke, so not likely to be overwhelmed by aim punch. Should they push him down? The risk here is if he does go down, that's the smoke dropped on the floor, and not only does it mean that Ruby can't use it, but Venom might pick it up and use it themselves if they take the B-bomb site, so Fozul needs to be careful about that. It's going to be a fake, though, towards this A site. Smoke's deployed. Innocent dealt with very handily. Fozul will now confirm this push, but caught Hafar, pushes straight through, takes the fight. Even a dink on the second. The smoke not recovered by the T's, but now Hasanator comes storming in for 3 quick, decisive kills, leaving it all on Sobel, and Hasanator will collect a lovely little quad kill right there.
Well, that's how you do a retake right there. Just absolute strength in numbers. Swinging. Hasanator with a beautiful quad in the end. So Ruby will take the pistol round, looking to kick off the same way they started on Dust 2.
Seemed like Venom had an opportunity there after putting it into the 4 versus 4. They had the B-bomb site. I'm not 100% sure it was a wise decision, though, to wide swing towards CT there for Hafar. Like, he got that pick, and then he wide swing towards 3 players who were just sat holding for him. You had a 4v4 with the bomb site in your control, and then you lost that man advantage, gave it to the hands of Ruby, and your entire setup just crumbled apart piece by piece from that point onwards. Force bite for Venom. After getting that bomb plant, they'll have 3 Galils. Handful of utility on Innocent and Sobel. So very slow for the Poles. Ruby, knowing that the utility is going to be limited, mid-control likely not on the cards for the T's. They're happy to sit in a 2-1-2. They can spot middle with Kaida jump spotting from Red Room, and he's got a fast rotate to B, so B isn't as weak. But they're also spotting with deep information, and A did have 2 players on it a second ago, but now it's just Jyo, that coach we mentioned, smoke in hand. But I've Ooh. Drops it just in the nick of time. The question is, can he
Oh, he's
keep
done it.
them out if they force their way through? But he's actually done enough. Dropping that smoke, they've fallen all the way back. Venom have got very little time here to redirect themselves. At the very least, they might, I was about to say, be able to sneak in towards Donut. They've been spotted. Kaida still jump spotting, gets that information. And while they have cover of their own Donut smoke, it might lead to their own demise here as McQueen can just hide, fight around the edge, but fully blinded, overwhelmed. It'll be free kill for Clocku. Flay comes in and finds Kaida. Jyo, who's the A anchor, still alive here, but eventually the Tech-9 will finish him off. Fozil gets a couple here with a Famous, a quick trade into the 1v1. He's got the triple, looking for the quad. How far does he play the bomb? Falls back, plays passive, knows Fozil has to defuse this bomb to win regardless of whether he gets the kill, so tries to suck as much time away from this bomb as possible. Keeping himself removed from the situation and goes for the engagement. Oh, Hafar, you saw he wasn't on the bomb, but committed to the fight regardless, and Fozil will actually get a 1v2 clutch plus a quad kill. I believe that was a 2 versus 4, maybe even 2 versus 5.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. There shouldn't have been any way Ruby managed to get their way back into that bomb site, and yet they managed it.
Famous too.
Yeah, with a Famas. Crazy work. And that keeps them alive. That would have been a big reset round for Venom to win had they taken it. Completely would have annihilated Ruby's money. Instead, because it was quite a close round, because they got that bomb plant, they are going to be going for another force investment, the T side. And well, that's one way to kick things off. Flay with a beautiful headshot. Boosted up on the box outside B. Clocku and Hafar going to accelerate into the bomb site, and just like that, it's a 2 versus 5 favor of Venom. Bomb down already. Kaida and Jyo left to save.
Venom seriously picking up the pace on that round with a limited resource available to them. They tried to make sure the engagement, the round was as short as possible. Therefore, they didn't need to be frugal with their nade usage. Beautiful opening picks as well. I believe the first one was Flay. Boosted up. You can already see, compared to Dust 2, how much more comfortable Venom are at finding opening picks, setting themselves up for those opening engagements here on Ancient. Big nade stack. Jyo tagged down half. Far. Ooh, will finish him off. Cheeky little spam there. Again, another opening pick. Another man advantage for Venom to work with. Snare reveals his position atop heaven. I think Ruby are limited with what they're capable of doing right now with these weapons, with this utility. And they've got a man disadvantage and a lot of time with which Venom can just constrict them. Can slowly eat away at their confidence. You can see how far back Venom are playing right now. Not wanting to fall victim to any proactive pushes that could catch them back turned, but Clocku...
Oh dear.
Might not be his back, but it's the side. But there's the trade. That's what matters, right? Because they're so far back, they're still grouped up. The trades come through, and a lot of damage is done to Venom, but it's fatal for the Ruby side.
Kaida left in a 1v4 here. Bomb's still not down, but I'm sure it will be momentarily as it is headed over towards the B bomb site. Kaida just looking to search out a safe haven now.
Bomb has been planted.
Get as far away from all of these Venom players as possible. So just like that, Venom will be tying things back up. And the money for Ruby is not in a good state at all. This save rifle might be the only thing they've got going for them in the next.
Terrorists win.
And that rifle is subsequently removed. Funds reaching 0 for Ruby. Just a single smoke invested. Beyond Gio taking it over towards A, whilst the rest stacked towards B. So the intention here, perhaps to drop a smoke to delay, to funnel Venom away from Gio's side of the map into the stack. Venom come through both middle and B lane, now converging outside the B site. It's going to be a full B site hit with a late lurk in towards cave. Smokes towards long and short, mollies towards the site. There's nowhere for this stack to stand. Completely picked apart, isolated. It's easy frags, easy finishes. Gio may find one, but that is all.
Just full sprinted through the smoke and landed a USP headshot. Fair play. Yeah, round finished nice and quickly. Get back on the guns here. M4s across the board. Util a little limited on a couple of players. 5 smokes. Enough incendiaries to hold on to middle.
Ho ho ho, chunky nade. Just tracking Hasanator as he fell back. Puts him down to half health. I'll now have to be a little bit more cautious playing here in cave. Again, Venom, this is very slow, very constrictive, just trying to push Ruby back. Ruby don't have much information to work with either here. All the players playing somewhat passively. The only vision they have of mid is this slither of a gap, like Haida is working with in Donut. He jiggles every once in a while. Hasnator proactive, has a trade behind him, but Kloku, it's an easy finish, and that's going to be a difficult trade for Fozul. And Kloku doesn't even allow him the opportunity to control the fight, just swings straight into him, clean headshot, 2 kills immediately found. Util deployed on towards B, but it's actually a contact up towards that A site. So Venom are split right now, but so are Ruby.
Quinn making his way in, and all that's a bit of a messy spray. Clockyu gets away with it and even manages to spin round and land the headshot. It's a bit of a slow start for Ruby here. It's Venom.
Good luck.
Yeah, Venom looking pretty hot.
McQuain, 0 kills, 5 deaths. His spray work with the M4 looking very shoddy, to put it bluntly. I mean, we saw him having some wild sprays over on Dust 2 as well, but he was fortunate to get some quick kills before going to that elongated portion. He's a very high-sense player, and as an AWPer, not practicing his rifles quite as much as some other players would. Or I hazard a guess that he wouldn't be practicing his rifles as much as other players would, making sure that his AWP flicks are the priority. But that puts him at a awkward spot when he's a high-sense user. The sprays can get the better of him. Setting up for a set piece. Ruby again on a weak buy, a half investment. This time it's a 3-2 split, but they might have some counter flashes deployed here. Smoke towards the top of the ramp. The flash comes through. Hasanator, I'd say, finds one, but it's Clocky who actually steals it. But it's still an exchange of players. That HE is nice because not only does it, tickle the toes of Kaida, push the CTs back, but it pulls that rifle, blows it away from the CTs, making it harder to retrieve. But at the very least, Ruby have halted and stalled this B site hit, and Venom completely freeze. And look at this, rewarded for their patience. This has got to be excruciating for Ruby.
Imagine just simple pop onto the B bomb site using all the nades here. Molotov from Innocent going to go over onto Long. Smoke at the top of the ramp could cause a bit of trouble. McQuain gets one. There's Kaida with a second. All of a sudden we're equal. And just like this, absolutely scrambling play with a beautiful double to clean up. Just as Ruby had a small opportunity, a sliver of hope to potentially disrupt this Venom train. It's taken away. If Kaida gets this kill, that's 2 rifles retaking the bomb site against a single player.
Yeah, this
Massive
is
multi-frag.
Yeah, huge kill. It keeps Venom in control. But again, Ruby is still just constantly on this back foot with how excruciatingly slow and patient Venom are happy to be. They just get that early pick and they sit back and pretty much spawn and wait for Ruby to push. Ruby, who on a disadvantage, are desperate for some sort of information so that they can stack the correct site when the hit inevitably comes in. But in the search for information, it costs them often an extra player. Oh, there's a big dink. Far put down low. Nice and passive from Hasanator, just deploys that smoke as a precautionary reaction to the molly behind him. Ruby are trying to play Venom at their own game, just eke out and squeeze out any possibility of an opening. Let that time tick down, and then once you force Venom to have to start working map control, then you go for a proactive play, but immediately it's shut down. Kloku again, another clean headshot. McQuain now tested, lands the AWP shot, looking to land some of these flicks, overwhelmed, but flicks off of his target.
That could have been it. Instead, Fozil forced back out. 20 seconds on the clock. Bomb planted now. Afar playing in Brokey will get taken down by Fozil. Low on HP. Wasn't long for this world and nobody in the position to trade. So freebie, Hasanator manages one. Tees up Fozil for this 1 versus 2. Molotov comes in. Cuts down the options for Fozil's pathing onto the bomb site. In the end, he's headed into main. It doesn't look like he wants to have a go at this one. No defuse kit. He's just looking for exit damage, maybe. He's going to start to evacuate. 6 rounds, guaranteed tie at the half now for Venom. Storming through on Ancient.
The only 2 rounds Ruby have found have come off quad kills. It was Hasanator's retake on that B-bomb site of the pistol round, where he just swang in and got 4 kills with the rest of his teammates swarming him as well. The other one was Fozil getting a quad kill in a 2v5 retake of the A site. Other than that, Ruby have found nothing. And like I said, it's so difficult to play against this slow style. You either have to be excellent at getting opening picks to give yourself an advantage, or you have to master playing slow on that CT side yourself, which you've got to be so disciplined, because in those situations you're often so hungry for information. And if the Ts know that you're playing slow and passive on the CT side, then the Ts, they will just contact into places and therefore take map control without letting you know.
Flame opens things up onto Hasanator, another opening for the Ts.
It's another attempt at aggression for Ruby, which is shut down by Venom patiently waiting. Not sure if that one came through the edge of the smoke. Was that a CT smoke which missed the doors? Because if so, that's very damning, because that would have been a viable option to take the B lane, lock out Venom if they were playing more passive. Beautiful boost though. Next Fozil 1. Gio, big meal on his plate, but he only finished one helping.
Bomb has been planted.
Clock you.
Big nade.
Huge nade. Ruby battered and bruised as they make their way through. Temple look to try and retake this bomb site. Fozil spots a shoulder of one, pushes in, and there's a double kill. Hafar taken down. The Flames will finally put a stop to him, and the time might end up eliminating Ruby's chances. Kaida has to stick the bomb, and Clock you can swing in easy as you like. No time for McQuain. It's a 7th for Venom.
Triple kill on the 1v3 for Clocku. And Venom continue their march here towards taking us to a third map. Ruby need to change something here. It's now or never. This is one of their remaining gun rounds here on the CT side of Ancient. They've got McQuain with the AWP, they have utility, they have a couple kits. They're going to be going for an aggressive mid-hold, looking to fight in towards Heaven, but these HEs, the utility from the Ts, keeps them at bay. It's Kaida with the opening pick, aggressive in that mid-smoke. Now they have the advantage, they can safely fall back. They know that Venom now have to put a shift in. Venom have to actually do some work instead of sitting back and patiently waiting for the opportunities to present themselves. Even if Ruby concede all this map control, if they're happy to play retake, as long as they maintain a man advantage, then the shoe's on the other foot, because now it's Venom who have to be in specific predictable positions that can get hard cleared.
Oh,
hey, that Hasanator is caught
positioning.
completely out in the open.
Yeah, Clocky manages to completely run a ring round him. The Molotov forces him out of position. Swings wide. Flay's already getting the bomb down. Forced into a very quick retake. Ruby still reeling from the execute. Fozil and Kaida both will find kills though. So Clocky and Sobel have to 2v4 it out. This might be the best opportunity that Ruby have had as yet. Smokes to block the sightlines. Clocky trapped in cave. Kaida gonna tap the bomb. Spam comes through for one. And a single bullet all that's required to connect to stop this defuse coming through, and it will. Last tick. Now Gio needs to get on it. He's got a kit as well. And with Clocky being taken down, they will just about do it. But my God, is it close?
I just noticed, by the way, where Kaida got his kill in this retake. Look at the yellow. Oh, I mean, you can miss it now, but he was spamming through the short smoke along with, I think it was Fozil, to get that kill on the player who was still on the B site. But a stray bullet from Kaida's hit through the wall and killed a player who was on B lane, who was tucked in the bucket cubby on a wallbang kill.
Wow.
That is definition of luck there to give Ruby an extra round. Finally, they found an opening. How do they work to get another one? There we go. Setting McQueen up with this B site AWP. Picks off her far. Hasinator even lands a dink onto Clocku. So finally, Venom are feeling a bit of pressure. Ruby aren't floundering around. Trying to go for these opening engagements. They're being a little bit more coordinated, fearless about these fights. And hello, Sobel's got himself into Temple.
He has, and it's caused a massive reaction out of Ruby. There are 3 players just trying to deal with
Confidence
Sobel.
from Kaida. He's back turned to A main.
Now he can reset. The rest of Venom already committed to their play to head into Red Room, where Bozel lies in wait, finds a double. AK picked up, Play misses his shot, and there's the triple. Ruby up on 4. 2 in a row now. And look, if they can make this a 7-5 half, all of a sudden we got a game on our hands again.
This is looking far more competitive. Of a scoreline, at least. But I don't know what the change was from Ruby, because they were trying to go aggressive beforehand, but I think they've kind of turned it up a little bit, turned the dial up so they could find these opening picks a little bit more assertively. That's Venom who are now going to be turning up that dial, getting aggressive in towards mid control. And they succeed in catching Ruby before they can set their sights in towards heaven control, but they don't put the brakes on at all. They storm their way in towards Red Room where Fozel's lying in wait. The success that Venom was having throughout most of this half was when they just sat back once they got their opening picks, once they were passive with the man advantages and they froze. But this time they got ahead of themselves. They got those picks and now they just sprinted the waiting jaws and oh no, what is this setup? How have they allowed Flay to get that?
What?
Bomb has been planted.
No, I'm with you, Harry.
Why? Yeah, I don't understand it at all. Fozel. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
We're going to take a break to figure out the words to describe that round, and we'll let you know after a couple of minutes. Bit of a rough go of things for Ruby and the first half of Ancient. Some questionable positioning to finish off the half. But Venom looking a lot stronger, it has to be said, than their Dust 2 performance. So we'll see if they can take us to nuke here as we start with the pistol. Molotov and a smoke on Kaida. Flash on McQueen. Smoke on Joyo and a P250 as well. There's plenty of goodies in the toolbox for Ruby to use on this T-side pistol. Venom trying to take all those toys away, though, with a double Julie set up. Fozel's now in trouble in Cave. Somehow a 1-for-1.
So many shots fired on both the ramp and in Cave, yet took a while for any fatalities to come through. Eventually, Venom will surge through Cave, taking main, but there's a lot of angles that they are unintentionally exposing themselves to in that attempt to search. Little did they know that they had the bomb, and all eyes were on them, leaving Sobel to swing in through Heaven, and Ruby collect the pistol, a much-needed pistol at that, bringing them to a 5th round and putting the economy in their hands.
Yeah, this is absolutely what Ruby needed to start off the second half with some of the fumbles from the previous. They need to get a good start, get as many rounds in early as possible, try and tie things up so they're not up against the wall.
Excessive utility usage there, but that's a missed molly. Means that Clocku is not going to be forced out of this cubby. Still alive, you can drop that smoke, keep Cave blocked. Kaida now being set up for that Red Room lurk. I mentioned pre-game how much he will be set up as the IGL to take map control in a deep position and then cut off the rotations as his team does the rest of the work. There's the first rotation found, but it's a quick trade. The MP9 overwhelms. Well-timed smoke now dropped towards the top of the slope. Hasanator forces his way through on his lonesome, trying to rely on the players coming through Cave or player singular. It's just Fozel. This sight hit from Ruby is completely fallen apart. An eager reaction to the information that Kaida had found leaves it on McQueen and Joyo. At least gotten an entry in towards this bomb site. And okay,
lovely wide swing, McQueen left to clutch it out. Both these players on long, just trying to buy time for this flank with the 5-7 and Sobol mid-air lands it. What a goofy round! Wow.
There's some Battlefield 6-hour peak. Just I can imagine him just sliding and then jumping out of the cave. And then land that kill.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a very rushed mid-round, and this is kind of shows the downside to having your IGL being in the lurk spot, even if, again, it is very impactful for Kaida in those spots, right? But if he only goes 1-for-1, if he gets some information, he's not there within the pack to help orchestrate and organize the site hit. So unless someone else is then being vocal enough to say, hey guys, this is how we're going to approach the B site hit, then they're not going to be organized. It's just going to be, oh, I'm just going to push up the ramp smoke. Let's just take it. I'm going to push out of Cave, come and trade you, try and trade you from a separate, completely separate angle. Sobel, cheeky spot. Hard cleared, but not a clean instant kill. Hasanator is confident to go straight through the CT incendiary, but there's a second player in Hafar towards CT. Sobel will get a mow down. Fozel on McQueen. Now just McQueen. And now nobody. As Venom hit 10.
The spacing on that A main hit was so strange. Like, the incendiary goes down and Hasanator's just like, hell yeah, I'm going straight through that. And the rest of his team like, oh, I don't know. Maybe we should, wait for the smoke to go down on it. Then they all go in, and then they all get clumped up and just mowed down at the gate.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like two opposite extremes at the same time, right? They're all completely spread apart and hesitating, and then suddenly all together, way too close and lining up. But more crucially, it's that indecision, right? The CT incendiary is Hasanator perhaps was thinking about was the CT incendiary is awful. You can just run through it more often than not, but everybody has to do it at the same time. Otherwise, you're just running to your death. Especially when there was actually a second player on that A site. Not made enough pressure in middle to push the CTs, or at least keep the CTs entertained in that part of the map. For there not to be an early rotation to A.
There's Innocent. Opening things up. Rifle on Kaida, as it looks like Ruby are going to be grouping for a simple B pop here. With that one smoke. So much responsibility on the hero rifle here.
It's going to be even more difficult with Innocent jump spotting like this, and they've not got a first bullet headshot weapon, no AKs, no deagle to just tear his head off mid-air. At best, it will probably be a dink, and then he tucks safe, drops the incendiary. Oh! And not when Clocku's a little bit low on health. Instead, the Galil finds a free finish. Clean shooting there.
Ideal scenario yet again. Smoke down as well. Innocent takes contact, reveals his position, falls back. Contact inbound, flashbang, blinds him up. There's no wide swing on it, no capitalization. Bomb, at the very least, does go down. Jayo up close with this AK. A lot of work for him to do as Hafar closes in on Hasanator. Jayo still waiting for this fight. So patient, Venom. Wait for the fights to come to them. And now Kaida with that single hero rifle has just too many people on his screen to deal with. And so it will be 11 for Venom. Ruby still trailing at 5.
Venom have got such impeccable patience right now on Ancient. They're just freezing out Ruby. Who, in that post plant, right, they've got the sight, and you're right, they didn't swing on that flash, which, quite frankly, I don't think it would have been a good decision for them to do so, but at the same time, they don't have any utility for the post plant. They need to make use and maximize the effectiveness from every piece of utility. And that flash was only used to try and let them cross to the site and push the CTs back from the angle. To get the most out of a flash, it probably would be better to utilize it for a frag, for a swing, for a peek, which didn't really come. And they were just sat stagnant in this post-plant setup on the site with the rifles. And as time ticked by, as the smoke was going to disappear, you know, the pressure's up against them. Like, oh, when do we move? When do we move? When do we move? The smoke's going to fade. I'm going to lose my cover. And then Jayo goes for the swing. And that's the trigger for Venom to storm in on that retake.
Gun round. Jayo on just the P250 making the sacrifice. It's a good opening from Kaida. Oh my goodness. Beautiful flash straight through the smoke. McQuain with 2 flash assists as Kaida cracks open middle and causes a real problem now for Venom. A massive 2-man advantage to open things up. Can Ruby hold on to it? Kaida seems to think so. Another kill. 3 to his name here. Bozel takes down Clock-Q, and just like that, Venom have been completely dismantled. McQuain's taking control of the B bomb site. And Innocent heading over to B.
Again, no saving this time. Bozel patiently waiting. There in cave. So Ruby find another sign of life. But Venom still well equipped. Here on round number 18, they can still invest. They can still close out this map in due course.
Nice bit of early HE damage in middle. It's an aggressive push up past Shelf here, but it's Hafar to get the first. Clock-Q comes in with another, and oh my goodness, it's chaos. As the dust settles, it's Ruby on the back foot massively. And Flay's still posted up in spawn with this AWP as well, which means it's going to be difficult for McQuain and Gio to get out onto this bomb site. Boost up is good. Allows McQuain to clear some of the closer angles, and the smoke will deny the AWP its prey. But all that time, Sobel's already quick on the flank. Yeah. Venom looking to shut Ruby out of this map. Unless McQuain can go absolutely nuclear.
Back exposed. With the double from Sobel. As Venom reached map point. Looking so much more confident here on Ancient. It's night and day compared to Dust 2. And it quite literally is an inverse scoreline, bar one. Faking a mid-explosive hit, smoking towards Red Room, smoking towards Donut. Lots of flashes and no CTs don't get any vision, but that doesn't matter. CTs aren't moving. Sobel saving his utility for that exact pop to come through. And closes the gate on Ruby. Ruby turn around. They'd look to try and fight for mid, retake control, or at least clear it. Issue is Hafar is in a very strong angle. I'd say, to hold the donut push, but even spots Kaida's boost. Wins that fight. Venom now a man advantage.
There's Flay taking out Fozil.
30 seconds.
Sobel in a nice offline as well.
Ooh.
Good reaction from Hasanator. Bomb can now be planted. Hafar moving in and not being quiet about it. Gio should have advance warning. Tags him up. Can't quite take him down though. Innocent in the meantime has equalised the numbers. McQuain with the trade. He's left in a 1v1. Nice headshot onto Flay. Needs to close out onto Var and will do so. A beautiful shot keeps Ruby alive, but only just 14 points of health in it.
I talked about how quiet McQuain can be and has been in this best of three so far, but that's a bit more of a voluminous round. The 1v2 clutch, as it were, some clean shooting on the AK, no sprays needed. Even saving the AWP, the big green, keeps Ruby alive one more round. And actually has had disastrous implications to the funds of Venom. I won't go as far as saying disastrous, but certainly an awkward spot to be in. 2 M4s, 2 Famuses, and 1 5.7. Only 4 primary weapons, 4 of which are rifles. 2 of which are M4s.
Ropey is how I describe this one. But then again, most of the rounds Ruby would have been quite ropey, so see what they got for us here. Or in McQuain's hands, going for this long pick.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful HE stack. So much damage already done to the attackers. One of which Fozil's going to try and lurk through the smoke. Catches one off guard, but Flay bails his teammate out. So, man advantage for Venom early on.
Even more damage done to Hasanator. And look at this proactive play coming in through A main. Flanking now in towards middle. Kaida may have taken Red Room control, but back turned and I believe spotted by Sobel. He's just going to tuck underneath, ready for a late flank. Oh, and a shot between the wickets with the AWP. Hasanator next up on the plate. Jayo will spot through that slither of a gap, but eventually her far flank will come through. Hasanator and Kaida, though, find a couple frags. Sobel caught back turned as he tries to jump up the Xbox, but the bomb is dropped. 40 seconds left to try and recover it, and there's a smoke currently in the way with Hasanator still very low. Could be a difficult one. Hafar, though, oh yes. The smoke thrown, but it's not flush. Oh, Kaida, the presence of mind, anticipating the play. 25 seconds left. The health low for Innocent. Surely he's been spotted. No, I don't think he has. Hasanator still has to cross to the side. Low HP. It's a clean headshot. 17 seconds left. Again, Kaida still on full health. He's been so good for a clutch. At least he was on map 1. Identifies Innocent's location, clears him out, and Ruby are alive again for one more round.
Limping along, Ruby. How far can they take this? Because now there's an eco for Venom, so that, in theory, should allow 9. That should unlock 9. But realistically, you've still got, what, 2 more gun rounds to get through. Fuck you. 1-for-1 trade, but that's so much information.
But Ruby aren't ready to react off this information. The bomb is still at the back of T-spawn. Only just picked it up. If anything, they've lost map control. It's just Kaida adhering towards Heaven, who's slowly picking the CTs off one by one as they jump into his waiting jaws. Innocent next up on the chopping block, peeks in, at least gets a dink in. But now his location is known.
Smokes down. Blocks the USPs out. This should be nice and straightforward.
Hasanator down to 1 HP. I completely question Hasanator's decision making there. Like, you could see that he was trying to just spam the corners of the smoke, but why is he hunting? He doesn't need to. You know, Innocent's on a USP. You don't need to give him a Galil. Galil could allow him to do more damage, get more kills, which you can't afford too many casualties right now. If you're Ruby, you don't want to be working with Galils constantly. You want AKs in your hands. That first bullet headshot, the more familiar spray pattern.
Terrorists win.
Even Jaya will go down to the bomb. Clean shooting from Kaida, in all fairness.
Here's the gun round. 1 of 2 available for Venom in the rest of the second half. Goes without saying, Ruby need these. McQuain going for the early peek, missed shot onto Clock Q, flicks off him. Smoke down. Now smoke popped. McQuain still granted nothing. Clock Q plays it well. Far's the one to open things up.
Untraded. Jaya with Util in hand couldn't assist Kaida in that engagement. So while a lot of damage has been done to a couple of the Venom players, it's Ruby who are left limping. Oh, and look at that proactive swing. 3-2-1 peak out of Red Room, and they collect 3 kills. Hasanator need a 1v4 here.
See what he can get done. Has got the bomb. Single smoke grenade. So far, the element of surprise now lost. Smoke down. Gonna try and tap and bait a peek out, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. And 39 is the scoreline. I have to say, Ruby looked kind of lost at times on Ancient. Obviously, we've got the caveat of them playing with their coach, but it wasn't just the macro. There was some micro decision making that was absolutely terrible. That setup that ended the first half, if we do that, genuinely speechless I was at how Flays just absolutely bodied him. So I'm assuming a CT side start for Venom here.
Yeah, me too, which I think honestly, judging from that Ancient that we saw from Ruby, I don't think is a bad idea, because I think Ruby might have a little... I think the quality of their T side here on Nuke may be a little bit better than their CT, at least compared to Ancient. Then again, on Ancient, there's far more limited as to what opportunities or possibilities there are for opening picks to try and get the better of the Ts. So it's anyone's game at this point. Kick off the pistol. We've got double Julie's drops on Hafar and Clocku. Going to be stacked towards this A site, but Ruby going to be creeping and crawling towards outside. Just Fozul left to lurking towards door. You'll see him there quite frequently as the lobby lurk. Flashes off.
Innocent's not seen anything.
Perfect. Oh, wow.
Vision finally regained. Kaida tagged down low and finally finished off with a stray bullet through the smoke, but the Ts are downstairs where Flate lies in wait, and Fozil in perfect position to counter this lobby crunch. That then enables the rest of the T side to head up the ladder onto the A side. A beautifully executed T pistol. Can they close it? 3-on-3. Sobel eliminates Fozil in the lobby. Innocent now going to start to make his way in through main. Sobel making a lot of noise. Is this going to bait out a cheeky peek from any of these Ts? Flash through. Ineffective. Closing in, Innocent. Nice headshot onto McQuain. Joa one, Hassanator with the second, and Innocent caught in no man's land with no bullets and his pants down. Means that the pistol goes Ruby's way.
That was a really convoluted pistol round, but honestly, I really quite like that. The 3 players working outside to get in towards secret. They're even flashed in, so there's a lot of utility to get that pack safely and soundly down towards lower. And then you have, not only do you have obviously Fozil, who's just tucked hiding in towards lobby for that, to not just to be that sort of beacon, that information center to double check that the CTs haven't flanked, but can also split with that extra lurk from Kaida shifting through that main smoke to then come up the vent. You can actually just split the A site beautifully from 3 separate positions. We do have on this one Venom choosing to go for the second round force. Flay has the scout in hand, but already tagged low. The outside smokes for Ruby. HE to blow him open. Kaida quickly gets into safety. Just scouting ahead. Again, he'll be used quite often as sort of the focal point, the first point of contact for these T sides for Ruby. He'll get into forward positioning, and once he's secured that forward positioning, if he doesn't want to continue, he'll say, yep, I'm happy to sit here, I'll cut off any rotates, you guys make the next move. Actually setting up to split ramp control here, potentially. Kaida making a lot of noise down on lower, opens the double doors. Glocku's already dropped. Hafar is now so close to joining him. Second earlier, Kaida would have spotted him. Hafar's in actually quite a decent spot here, tucked behind the vent, but he might be overwhelmed in a second. Yeah, position found, spammed down, and he was actually the lone defender. Everybody for Venom had rotated away from that A site.
Yeah, unless Innocent gets couple of frags here. Well, that's that done. I was going to say, you know, gets a couple of kills there, maybe start to have a look into things, but now losing bodies. Kaida stacking cash with the Mac 10, MP9 and Scout to save with a bit of Kevlar to boot.
Clocky needs to get out of there. Even with 100 HP, that bomb is quite deadly on Nuke. He was quite close to it for a moment.
Terrorists win.
Down to 34 points of health, despite being quite far in secret. So Ruby convert. Venom. Not going to force it again. This time it's an eco, but with that caveat of these two saved weapons. MP9 and the Scout.
Just how much heavy lifting can these guns do, though? It's just a nice, simple hit on the ramp here. Fozil, ooh, he's going to take a ding through the side of the wall. Far eliminated in lobby. Clock finds himself an upgrade to a Galil. Taking down Gio, so still a 4-on-4. Still 2 sets of Kevlar in play as well for the CT side. This is where Venom slowed... What? Where Ruby slowed down. Gonna start scaling into B. Utility deployed. Not committing. They are begging for a reaction from Venom at the moment, which, to their credit, Venom aren't giving. Couple of steps up in heaven. Fascinating. So dangerous. Straight. What is...
Oh. Clocku's found 2.
Why?
And an upgrade. What is this from Ruby? What? Why? You're up against pistols and your plan is to storm up the heaven ladder into an occupied space above that ladder?
I can't believe what I just witnessed.
That can't be real. Were they just going on a hunch that, oh, maybe they've stacked the B-bomb site, maybe us taking ramp has been enough for them to just make a gamble stack with this weak investment? Even if it was, heaven is not the first point of contact you should be making.
Yeah, that's a diabolical round.
That puts Venom in a very nice place. They could have been 3-0 down, money on the back foot. Instead, only 1 round behind their opponents. And they've got some cash to spare. On top of the fact they've got some AKs on what would have been their first gun round, or what is their first gun round. Oh, Innocent. On the back of the garage. Catches the player trying to drop in towards main. There's potential for some sort of split, whether it's coming up through vent and splitting A through A main, or whether it was clearing A main and then making your way in towards hell. Split ramp from secret. Split B from ramp and secret.
Bomb has been planted.
Either option, I think, is suboptimal. And as you can see, they've lost 2 players in the process. Bomb plant, at least goes down. Hasanator and Gio suddenly strike. Catching a couple frags. The trade is slow here from Hafar. Is there eventually. They managed to just about maintain this man advantage, but it's scary, it's hairy. Eventually a trade will come through, but is there enough time?
Yeah, defuse kit. Flay will be able to get this one through.
Just about. Look at the slither of green on your screen below that bomb.
And now money trouble, even with that bomb plant, because of the absolute harebrained decision to go 3 players slamming it up the ladder.
Yep.
There's no money in the bank.
Had such a good opportunity to build a bed of funds by winning the pistol, denying the force buy, going 3-0 up before even the first gun round. and therefore have lots of cash to work with, meaning the CTs would have had to work for every single round before they break you. Instead, all it took was that 1 round loss going up into heaven, and then one simple trading exercise, and boom, you're on pistols with 2 players.
Contact play onto the ramp. Ruby. Kaida at the forefront. Going to be heading in towards ramp. They've successfully forced the CT off. Currently occupying ramp room with 4. It's just Gio left sort of lurking about in lobby. Ruby are taking their time on the way down here. Smoke into the window. Sobol denied vision. Relocates to the door. Kaida getting ready to trade him out. Beautiful double peek coming in. Sobol completely thwarted. Flash down. That's allowed Innocent to get 1, but a good trade from Kaida. Still no bomb planted. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, and the bomb is now out in the open. No utility to cover this plant either. Sobol knows it. It's just trying to buy time. Clock U comes in. This is a disaster for Ruby. Thankfully, they all fall before the clock runs out, so at least they get their loss bonus. But such a hesitant push. Feels like they got some control of the bomb site and then didn't really have much of a plan past that.
It's really weird looking at Ruby's mid-rounding, because it's like they discuss in great detail exactly how to approach one aspect of their mid-round and then completely forget the rest. It's like, for example, that hit. It's like they're completely discussed, make sure they're really coordinated. How are we hitting the B-bomb site from ramp, coordinating their peak, anticipating the positioning of all the players, making sure they don't fall victim to them. Okay, now what? You've got the site, you're going to plant. You don't have any ground, you don't have any post-plant control. It's really strange. It's like just one dimension they have nailed down to a T, and then the next dimension, or the next difficulty that approaches them, they just flounder around like a fish. And again, I'll remind everyone, this is a Ruby who've been climbing the rankings recently. They're above the VRS ranking, above Venom on the VRS rankings. And also a Ruby who 2 weeks ago beat Venom 2-0 in a best of 3. And that was a Venom. I don't know, man. This is such a strange game.
Sobol playing the ramp off angle. McQuain gone. Hasanator swings in. Sobol now. Damage. Still fighting though. Will finally be overwhelmed by Fozil, but by this point it's too late. Venom are flooding in. And they have secured a 4th. Money now recovered. Ruby can at least get on the buy again. So let's see what they've got in store for us, because so far it's not looked particularly promising. Yard control, name of the game for Venom.
Issue is here for Ruby. This is such a forward position from Venom. Shadow spotted. Ooh, Kaida has a deeper angle. It's a hard clear, but will he be ready for Innocent? Answer is no. And while yes, They get that kill. Well, yes, it's a 4v4. Normally it would be advantage of the T's. The CTs get all that information. They know outside is clear. They know Kaida was on his own, so Sobel can bolster this ramp defense. Be ready, anticipating the pack to be near. And he gets one, it blocks off the rest, and they disengage. So thanks to that initial one-on-one, which again, a one-for-one trade, normally favours the T side in a 4v4, they use that information to give them an advantage to net themselves a one-man-up scenario.
Silent walk outside. 2 players from Ruby going to be descending into Secret. Innocent, none the wiser.
We do have Flate on an early rotation. Although Secret and ramp control have been completely given up.
Molotov into the vent will finally give them away. Flate in a great position to shut this one down as Gio completely isolated on his own. Smashing glass. McQuain, good trade. Tap on the bomb. Innocent swings in. Snap headshot, but now there's no time. So a 5th round found, and McQuain even going down after the clock expires.
Oh, that is disgusting, McQuain. $600 to his name.
Here's that door open as well. Still just holds the angle. Clock's gone, pal.
Yeah. Just a little too slow there on Ruby. Thing is, you went 1-for-1, but where's that third player who was coming in from ramp? I think it was Fozil. Taking so long to clear ramp control. Fortunately for Ruby, they're still just about able to afford a buy despite McQuain with no Kevlar, no weapon. Instead, smoke, flash, flash. Everyone else has got rifles. At least it's one way to equalize out the funds. Again, Kaida set up for a lurk, but no presence towards outside. It's going to be a pop attempt here towards the ramp. Good swing from Hasnet. It draws Sobel's crosshair far away to enable the trade. 2 for 2. Innocent rotation comes through to hell, but a missed HE. Oh, but Kloku is hiding down here on this lower side this entire time. He can confirm, say, hey, they may have ramp control, but they're not taking B with it. And Innocent should realize this early. He's got Hafar, who's actually gone for the push and has found Kaida. That's the outside lurk dealt with. And look at this indecision from Ruby. They're back towards ramp. They're back towards this lower side, which they initially faked a second ago. But by the time that they're faking or taking ramp control or trying to incite a rotate, Venom have gotten all the information. Clocky was there like, well, they're not here. They could have had someone in the control window to, again, say, well, they're not here on the B-bomb site. A flank comes in towards lobby. They're not in towards lobby. Just killed their outside lurk, running back in spawn.
It does feel like indecision is the word to summarize Ruby's T side right now. It's been a couple
even here with this
rounds
investment, you got a Hero AK or Hero Galil from Kaida. 4 Tech 9s, but Kaida's not really been doing anything with this outside presence that he's been trying to make. And again, their T-sides rely so much on Kaida being able to find value in his positioning, because that's where a lot of the resources and thought is invested.
Oh.
And there's Innocent. Not a bystander this time.
No, and there's the Galil and Kaida gone.
He's found the B-bomb site. You might see a plant. It's like we're not seeing very many of them from Ruby so far. Sobel under a bit of pressure here. Needs to be careful. Yep, there we go, McQuain. Pushes through. M4 received. Kloku. At least being a nuisance here. Has managed to get down this vent so far. It's all on McQuain, who has that M4. Isolates the first. Looking for another. Clean headshot. The trade's coming through. But eventually it'll be Flay with the orb of all weapons to deny McQuain The hero play. Does have a
Wow.
kit. But should just be able to get this diffused through.
Counter-terrorists win.
And Flay's actually decided to pick up an AK, drop the AWP. Hafar's got more than enough cash. Almost in the 16k.
Such a nice attempt from McQueen. Some really nice shooting, but it's that final player coming in from ramp that he just doesn't anticipate.
Just a few too many men.
McQueen boosted up outside, trying to search a pick with the AWP. Gio left to lurk in lobby. There's a full court press in the yard. Kaida's going to find the opening. Innocent gone. Second player spotted in heaven, but Kaida caught out in the open by Flay. Sobol taking Gio down. That's the lobby. Opened up.
Finally, Kaida decided to mix it up and go for a bit of yard control, which, again, I feel like they've just not been doing. Is the few times they've worked outside, it's either been Kaida on a solo lurk or it's been secret control. They changed it up on round number 10 of this half. And, well, yeah, they get one opening. Then what? It all falls apart. Kaida overextends on the next fight, doesn't win it. At least they found some timing to get down towards this lower site where they found Clocky, but they're not going to expect Sobel here, who's just denied the bomb plant. Looking for another clean angle on towards Hasanator. Leaves it all on Fozil, low HP, who the fart will finish off. Putting Venom up to a wondrous 8th.
Really not a lot to show for themselves, Ruby, here on Nuke. Obviously, again, there's the caveat. They're playing with their coach. But this is a coach who, not too long ago, I suppose in CS terms, maybe quite long ago, but only transitioned into coaching recently, like a year ago. So, Ruby going for the force buy here in the final round, and Fozil is going to find an opening. Hafar with a beautiful peek onto Hasanator, though. So that's going to equalize immediately. Gio, here he is. Big headshot. McQueen looking to close in, and that's where the Tech 9 gets involved. And all of a sudden, there's a bit of action going on. It's just Flay who's dropped the bomb. Going to smoke off his extremities. Try and close down the possible threats that can come his way, as he has a minute and 5 seconds to nest on this bomb.
Ruby happy to use that time to just ice him out, slow him down, let their usual fade, but they're not in positions to trade. Now they are. They'll group up. Low bullets. Flay needs to be cleaner than that. Kaida will finish him off, but that round comes off the back of a change-up from Venom, and an unnecessary one. So far, Venom have been winning rounds based off Ruby's mistakes. Based off of Ruby just faltering in the mid-rounds. Based off Ruby struggling with the opening engagements, and then even when they do find the opportunities or the spaces in the mid-rounds, Venom have the information, have the read, have the drop on them. That time, Venom decided to take the fight to Ruby. You just cut out all the work which Ruby have been required to do. You've said, don't worry, we'll give you the fights that you've been looking for. Especially up against Tech 9s. Final round of the half, we've actually got a double AWP in play here. Sobel with a secondary.
Smoke popped outside. Innocent gets no vision. Flashbang over, though.
Oh, wow.
And just a follow-up spam through. We'll take Kaida immediately.
He's had such a difficulty dealing with Innocent outside here. Clocker, did he get that info? Surely he did. Oh, but he still gets one. Surely the information was mutual there. Ridiculous scenes. 3v3. Ruby still within a chance, but they're very low on HP for a couple players, and they're quite separated. Afar, forward in the hut. Innocent, still spotting out in the heavens. Oh, and there we go, Gio, the one high HP player. This reposition, and oh, I thought there was a collateral in there somewhere, but no, now 15 seconds for Gio to get this bomb. Both players have him locked in. That flash will delay him. There's now no time for him to get the bomb plant. Simply not possible. Has to get the kills. Innocent knows it. Man of his experience just tucks and hides. Eventually, will swing on the timing once he knows his other teammate is safe. So it is going to be a very strong and demanding start here for Venom. Ruby, much to be desired. Will they bounce back? We'll only find out after this quick break.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live.
Very dominant so far for Venom. On the T side of Nuke, well, CT side of Nuke, they're now on the T side. Only 4 rounds to go before they dominate Ruby. Unless Ruby can put up a bit more of a resistance. here on their defensive side. Going to be a bit of an A-main split here. Hasanator overwhelmed Hafar with the first. Gyro up in the heavens. We've seen his USP do a lot of heavy lifting so far, but pushed back, kept honest. Eventually the flight will come through. It's a two-man drop, but Glocku with the Glocku will find the couple, leaving Fozil up in the heavens, descending to his death. Awkward spot to be in, and also got to be blunt, it's getting late for Ruby as well. Eastern side of Europe. And you mentioned that they were playing in a qualifier quite early this morning as well. Or earlier today at least. Long days can often lead to fatigue. Fatigue can lead to poor decision making. But that's the way of a competitor. You have to be able to perform under these sorts of conditions. Right now, Ruby just aren't to the same degree. At least on this round. Managed to get a decent amount of information and a chunky HE on towards Innocent. Venom. They constrict the outside presence, leaving Sobel to lurk in lobby. The other four proceed using the outer smokes, the first diagonal set of smokes to take yard control, and then the main and hell smokes to give them some cover. For three to get down secret, for another to lurk in Innocent. Just hold for these potential fights. But Kaida's going to get a decent amount of information here in towards credit, seeing that nobody's pushed past, so they must have gone down secret or fallen back. And Fozil will confirm they've pushed down. Sobel's lurk found. So rifle picked up. Gyro, let's see what he can find. A quick adjustment. Venom, this is all falling apart. Look at these yellow X's. They're just across the map on different spots. No trading. Still a 2 versus 3.
Terrorists win.
Harry, you're muted. It's a big round there from Venom, still keeping Ruby down. Ruby now down in the dumps with just pistols. Venom looking to pick up the pace to hammer the point home. We've got a stack towards outside. Kaida again set up with a hero M4. Over the top of credit, seeing what he can find.
Ooh, Fozil might get a cheeky barrel worth of information here. Pushing in position for a fast flank as well. Can he activate in time? Flay already in the back of door, and Innocent already turning back to look at the lobby. No resistance on the A site. Kaida with a good trade. There's another one.
Oh.
Gets a bit eager and takes his teammate down as well, but it's still a 3-on-3. And there's a rifle gone. So McQuain and Gyro make that just Gyro with a P250. He's the one who...
stepping his boundaries there, I have to say, for Kaida. He got the double. Or he's got lobby control. Wait for the pistols then to come in to take the next point of contact. Gyro won't be allowed to save as Glocku hunts match and series point here for Venom. The 12-3 scoreline. We're going to have to see 9 in a row for Ruby if they want to stay in the upper bracket here in Cup 4.
Yeah, really quite uninspired game of nuke from Ruby, has to be said. Looked quite sluggish. I mean, the T side was them running the clock down and then just not really doing anything with it. It's not like they were, you know, setting up anything elaborate that required the time. It was just very slow for seemingly little reason. Kaida getting eager spamming outside. They now know where he is, and Innocent's going to take him down just like that.
Innocent seems to be locked in here on Nuke. Looking for a little bit more. Foes all dinked down. Eventually, Innocent will bite off more than he can chew, but he set up his teammates for a succulent meal. And now it's all on McQuain. 1 versus 3. So far in these clutch scenarios, he's often got it close, but never over the line. You can hear the steps of these players repositioning. But the angle held. Good for the one, but Bomb still planted. Whips out the USP. The swing will come through. Tucked in his corner. He'll be finished off. It's 13-3 to Venom here on Nuke. And that means it's a 2-1 victory as well. Getting revenge from that best of 3 only